there, and thanks for joining me for another exciting weekly conversation on getting you the life and career that you want. I'm your success coach, Dr. Sanaa, and welcome back for part 2 on our discussion of the simplest brain hack that you can do right this second that will completely transform your life. Now, if this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. I coach professionals just like yourself who want to consistently be happy and fulfilled in their careers and their lives. And the way that I do that is by giving you practical tools and hacks so that you can get the most powerful part of you, your brain, working in your favor. Once your brain's on board, the rest just kind of happens automatically. So you're in the right place, and go ahead and hit the subscribe and bell button so that you don't miss out on any of our future content. Okay, so let's dive back in and continue on with our discussion on the brain hack, focusing your brain on what you want rather than what you don't want. So what we talked about in part 1 was that our brains tend to focus our thoughts on what we don't want. And I introduced the most important tool, which was how to flip it. And once you flip it, your brain starts to filter more information about what you want into your awareness through the day. So how did it go? How did reframing your thoughts to what you want, how did that go? Was it easier or harder than you expected? My hunch is that it was probably harder. I'm thinking you started off the day making sure that every single thought of yours was completely aligned with what you wanted. And then life got in the way, and you got busy and stopped paying attention, and your thoughts went right back to where they were. So here are 2 things that you need to know about your brain to understand why it's probably working against you. Brain fact number 1. On any given day, we have about 70,000 thoughts. And almost 95% of them are repetitions of previous thoughts. So if you've had the thought, I am being taken for granted at work, and you've had that thought multiple times, it's probably made its way into your repetitive repertoire. Brain fact number 2, your brain actually processes negative thoughts and experiences a lot faster and with greater intensity and remembers it more readily. The reason that this happens is actually evolutionary. Imagine this, you're a caveman, and what's probably more beneficial to you is to remember and pay attention to the threats a lot more than any rewards, because the greatest reward is staying alive. Okay, so now that you know the 2 ways in which your brain is sabotaging you, let me give you 2 tools to make sure that you spin it in your favor. Tool number 1, when you have a positive thought about what you want, stick with it for a little bit. Ask yourself what it would be like to get what you want. How would you feel once you got it? What would that mean for your friends and family if you had it? Now, the longer that you stick with this thought, the more time your brain actually has to put that into your repetitive repertoire. Okay, tip number 2, become aware of those automatic negative thoughts. And anytime that you have one, use that flip method that I talked about in part 1 of this series to flip it and refocus your mind to what you want. And the more that you do that, the more that your brain will actually make that the first thing that it thinks about. So see how we were able to outsmart your brain and get it working in your favor? Keep practicing it, because as we all know, practice makes better. And if you have any questions along the way, go ahead and use the details in the description below to contact me. And I will see you next week for some more brain hacks and tools so that you get the life and career that you want very quickly.